Welcome to an epic journey back in time. Today we'll explore 105 incredible dinosaurs, from the mighty T-Rex to the massive Brachiosaurus. 1. Tyrannosaurus rex, the king of dinosaurs. T-Rex had massive jaws filled with bone-crushing teeth. Despite its small arms, it was a fearsome predator of the late Cretaceous. Velociraptor, a fast and intelligent predator. Velociraptor was covered in feathers. Its deadly sickle claw made it a skilled hunter in the late Cretaceous. Triceratops. With 3 massive horns and a giant frill, Triceratops was a powerful herbivore. It could battle even the mighty T-Rex with its strong, bony skull. Brachiosaurus. One of the tallest dinosaurs, Brachiosaurus had a long neck for reaching treetops. Its massive size made it nearly invincible to predators. 5. Stegosaurus. Recognized by its large backplates and spiked tail, Stegosaurus was a slow-moving giant. Its tail spikes, known as the thagomizer, were its best defense. Spinosaurus, the largest carnivorous dinosaur, Spinosaurus had a massive sail on its back. It was a semi-aquatic predator hunting fish in prehistoric rivers. 7. Allosaurus, a fierce Jurassic predator. Allosaurus had sharp claws and strong jaws. It was fast and deadly, often hunting in groups. 8. Ankylosaurus, a living tank of the Cretaceous. Ankylosaurus had armored plates and a clubbed tail. This herbivore could crush bones with a single swing of its tail. 9. Parasaurolophus. Famous for its long curved crest, Parasaurolophus used it to produce loud calls. It lived in herds and thrived in lush, river-filled environments. 10. Pachycephalosaurus. With a thick domed skull, Pachycephalosaurus may have used headbutting to fight. This herbivore lived in the late Cretaceous, moving in small groups. 11. Iguanodon. One of the first dinosaurs ever discovered, Iguanodon had thumb spikes for defense. It could walk on both 2 and 4 legs, making it highly adaptable. 12. Carnotaurus. This fast predator had small, useless arms, but powerful legs. Its horned skull gave it a fierce look, perfect for ramming prey. 13. A giant of the Jurassic, Diplodocus had a long neck and whip-like tail. It used its size to stay safe from predators like Allosaurus. Giganotosaurus. One of the largest carnivores ever, Giganotosaurus rivaled T-Rex in size. It likely hunted massive sauropods in South America. 15. Carcharodontosaurus, a giant predator with serrated teeth. Carcharodontosaurus ruled ancient Africa. It was one of the largest land carnivores of all time. Therizinosaur. This bizarre dinosaur had giant scythe-like claws, but was a plant-eater. It used its claws to pull down branches instead of attacking prey. 17. Deinonychus. A deadly raptor, Deinonychus had a sharp sickle claw for hunting. It was fast, agile, and possibly hunted in packs. 18. Compsognathus. One of the smallest dinosaurs, Compsognathus was fast and nimble. It likely fed on small reptiles and insects. Edmontosaurus, a duck-billed dinosaur. Edmontosaurus was a common herbivore in the late Cretaceous. It lived in large herds for protection. 20. Argentinosaurus. One of the largest land animals ever, Argentinosaurus was a massive sauropod. Its sheer size protected it from most predators. 21. Utahraptor. The largest raptor ever discovered, Utahraptor was a deadly predator. Its sickle claws and pack-hunting abilities made it highly dangerous. 22. Coelophysis. One of the earliest dinosaurs, Coelophysis was a fast and lightweight predator. It likely hunted in packs and fed on small animals. 23. Gantoraptor, a massive, feathered dinosaur. Gigantoraptor was the largest of its kind. Despite its sharp beak, it may have been an omnivore. 24. Dreadnoughtus. One of the largest land animals ever, Dreadnoughtus was a giant herbivore. Its massive size made it nearly impossible to hunt. 25. Oviraptor. Known as the egg thief, Oviraptor was a small, fast theropod. However, it may have actually protected eggs rather than stealing them. 26. Cryolophosaurus. Nicknamed the Elvis dinosaur for its unique head crest, Cryolophosaurus lived in Antarctica. It was a large predator adapted to cold conditions. 27. Euoplocephalus. A heavily armored dinosaur, Euoplocephalus had a spiked body and a clubbed tail. It was well equipped to defend itself from predators. 28. Torosaurus. Often confused with Triceratops, Torosaurus had a longer, thinner frill. It lived in herds and grazed on low-lying plants. 29. Auranosaurus. A unique herbivore, Tyrannosaurus had a sail-like structure on its back. It may have used it for heat regulation or display. Saurophaganax, one of the largest Jurassic carnivores, Saurophaganax was an apex predator. It was bigger and more powerful than Allosaurus. 31. Albertosaurus, a close relative of T-Rex. Albertosaurus was smaller but still a deadly hunter. It likely hunted in packs to take down larger prey. 32. Sinoceratops, the only known ceratopsian from Asia. Sinoceratops had a single nose horn. It was a social herbivore that lived in herds. 33. Majungasaurus, a fearsome predator from Madagascar. Majungasaurus was a top hunter. Fossil evidence suggests it may have been a cannibal. 34. Struthiomus, a fast, ostrich-like dinosaur. Struthiomus was built for speed. It likely used its long legs to escape predators. 35. Monolophosaurus. This Jurassic predator had a single crest on its skull. It was a mid-sized theropod that likely hunted small dinosaurs. 36. Microraptor, a four-winged dinosaur. Microraptor was one of the first to experiment with flight. It glided between trees, hunting small prey. 37. Styracosaurus. With a massive frill and long, sharp spikes, Styracosaurus looked intimidating. This herbivore used its horns to defend against predators. 38. Hypsilophodon. A small, fast herbivore, Hypsilophodon relied on speed to escape danger. It had excellent vision and could run on two legs. 39. Daspletosaurus, a close cousin of T-Rex. Daspletosaurus was a powerful apex predator. It had a robust skull and sharp teeth for crushing bones. Ceratostinctive horn on its snout. Ceratosaurus was a fierce Jurassic hunter. It likely ambushed prey near water sources. 41. Corythosaurus. Known for its helmet-like crest, Corythosaurus was a duck-billed herbivore. It used its crest to produce loud calls for communication. 42. Shunosaurus. A small sauropod with a clubbed tail, Shunosaurus had a built-in defense system. It lived in herds, browsing on prehistoric plants. 43. Eoraptor, one of the earliest known dinosaurs. Eoraptor was a small, fast carnivore. It lived in the Triassic period, hunting small reptiles and insects. 44. Ornitholestes, a small but agile predator. Ornitholestes had a long tail for balance. It likely hunted small dinosaurs and Lizarzarex. Nicknamed the Dragon King, Tricorex had a spiky skull. Some scientists believe it may be a young Pachycephalosaurus. 46. Protos, a small ceratopsian. Protoceratops lacked large horns but had a strong frill. It lived in family groups, feeding on desert plants. 47. Gallimimus, the fastest dinosaur. Gallimimus could run at incredible speeds. It had a beak like a modern ostrich and likely fed on plants and insects. 48. Deltadromeus, a long-legged predator. Deltadromeus was built for speed. Its sleek body allowed it to chase down prey in the Cretaceous deserts. 49. Psittacosaurus, a small beaked dinosaur. Psittacosaurus had primitive quills on its tail. It was an early relative of Triceratops. 50. Saichania, a heavily armored ankylosaur. Saichania had tough skin and a strong tail club. It was well adapted to surviving in harsh environments. 51. Herrerasaurus, one of the earliest meat-eating dinosaurs. Herrerasaurus lived in the Triassic. It had sharp teeth and claws for hunting small prey. 52. A mysterious spinosaur. Irritator had a long snout filled with conical teeth. It likely hunted fish in rivers and lakes. Or 53. Tarchia, a well-armored ankylosaur. Tarchia had a tough, spiky body. Its name means brainy one due to its large skull. A weak-jawed predator. Rugops may have been a scavenger rather than a hunter. Its face had mysterious holes, possibly for display or sensory functions. Fukuraptor, a small but deadly raptor from Japan. Fukuraptor had sharp claws. It was a fast and agile predator of the early Cretaceous. 56. A relative of T-Rex, Nanoxaurus was a cold-adapted predator from the Arctic. It had a smaller body, helping it survive in icy conditions. 57. Muttaburrasaurus, Australian herbivore. Muttaburrasaurus had a strange bony bump on its snout. It may have used this feature for vocal communication. 58. A unique ceratopsian, Ionosaurus had a forward-curving nose horn. It likely used this horn for defense and display. 59. Tuojiangosaurus, a Chinese relative of Stegosaurus. Tuojiangosaurus had large back plates and tail spikes. It was well equipped to defend itself from predators. Bapiosaurus, One of the largest feathered dinosaurs, Bapiosaurus was an unusual herbivore. It had long claws, possibly used to pull down vegetation. 61. Gorgosaurus. A close cousin of T-Rex, Gorgosaurus was a fierce hunter. It had powerful legs and sharp teeth for taking down large prey. 62. A giant sauropod from Africa, Jabaria had a simple body plan. It may have used its tail like a whip for defense. 64. A horned dinosaur with a large frill, Chasmosaurus, lived in North America. It likely used its frill for display and communication. 64. Tianulong. A small feathered herbivore, Tianulong had quill-like structures on its back. It provided important clues about early dinosaur evolution. 65. Zuniceratops. One of the first ceratopsians with large horns, Zuniceratops was a key link in ceratopsian evolution. It was a smaller relative of Triceratops. Minmi, a small ankylosaur from Australia, Minmi had tough armor. It was one of the shortest-bodied armored dinosaurs. 67. Rapatosaurus, a giant sauropod from Madagascar. Rapatosaurus had a long neck and tail. It lived in forested environments during the Cretaceous. 68. Apatosaurus, once called Brontosaurus, Apatosaurus was a massive long-necked dinosaur. Its powerful tail may have been used as a whip against predators. 69. Tarbosaurus, a close relative of T-Rex. Tarbosaurus was a top predator in Asia. It had small arms but a powerful bite. Huayungosaurus, a smaller relative of Stegosaurus. Huayungosaurus had sharp tail spikes. It was one of the earliest stegosaur species. 71. Achillobator, a massive raptor. Achillobator had huge sickle claws. It was one of the largest dromaeosaurs ever discovered. Suchomimus, a fish-eating dinosaur. Suchomimus had a long snout like a crocodile. It lived in swampy regions, hunting in rivers. 73. Baryonyx. One of the first known fish-eating dinosaurs, Baryonyx had a huge claw on its hand. It used its long jaws to snatch fish from the water. 74. Patagotitan. One of the largest dinosaurs ever, Patagotitan, was a gigantic sauropod. Its massive bones suggest it was over 100 feet long. 75. Zalmoxes. A small herbivore from Europe, Zalmoxes had a beak for eating tough plants. It lived in the late Cretaceous period.